This is Artifacts. I wanted to discuss the media show trial surrounding what Zimmerman did. Everybody's very familiar with this case because media has made it into a show trial. Media would have you believe that trials are made up by popular vote. I mean, the popular thing was to say Zimmerman's guilty, he should fry, or go to prison for the rest of his life. But I have little news for you people, ABC, NBC, and CBS, CNN. This isn't based on popular vote. You can picket and protest all you want, but a criminal trial is only voted upon by a handful of people called a jury. The rest of us don't get a vote. We don't get a say. That's number one. But, these people in media would have us believe that we get input into this when we don't. Now, do I think that Zimmerman is a pure nice guy who was a complete victim? No. I think there's some guilt there, but it was ruled self-defense because Zimmerman had this guy on top of him who was beating the tar out of him. I hear a lot of what-if scenarios, so I'm going to add my own little what-if scenario. What if Trayvon Martin, instead of jumping on him and beating the tar out of him, what if he just approached him and asked him nicely, what's going on? I'd like to discuss it. Obviously, there's a problem. We'd have never heard of this, right? So I think I have mixed feelings about it. I think there's room for discussion either way. But the fact is, he's been vindicated. And those of you know who you are. Those of you who have been tweeting on Twitter and making threats against him, you're despicable, and you should be arrested. This is one of my points is I think we need to get law enforcement involved with this and start arresting a few people who've been threatening him. And because that's just unacceptable. What some of you are proposing is not justice, it is mob violence, and it is crime that you've been proposing. So far, the only real crimes have been committed in Oakland. Police cars trashed and all that. And there's some protests around the country. As long as they stay peaceful, that's fine. They can protest. I don't really care. But those who threatened violence and who are threatening Zimmerman, you are frauds and you are crooks. Because you're not seeking justice, you're seeking self-aggrandizement. You're seeking to make yourselves look better by saying, let's go get this dirty white punk or whatever you say. And B, you're threatening crime. You're not threatening justice. Justice has been served. Justice does not necessarily mean that somebody who's guilty of something is going to be punished. I'm not saying Zimmerman was guilty I didn't study the case that much, other than I know this guy was on top of him, beating the tar out of him. So we gotta do something about these media show trials. You know, the media really doesn't care about black rights. These are some of the worst bigots on the planet. Believe it or not, ABC, NBC, CBS. They don't sit there and report on cases that are happening in the inner cities where blacks are shooting blacks, and you hardly ever hear anything about it. I heard a statistic, 16,000 a year. That's unbelievable. But they don't report on it. Well, they will report it when a white person defends himself against black guys on top of him, beating the shit out of him. So these are some of the biggest bigots on the planet. The media, they're using race to commit a show trial. Now, the so-called Justice Department was also seeking to screw this guy some more by putting federal charges on him. They're looking that over. I hope they don't. I think it's despicable. His life's never going to be the same no matter what. Well, when you have somebody as corrupt as Eric Holder in there, what can you do? Probably nothing. We have a corrupt president, Barack Insane Obama. We have a corrupt Eric Holder who refuses to do anything or investigate the Benghazi situation, for instance. So I have very bad feelings that Zimmerman is going to get screwed with civil rights violations stuff and all that. Of course, he may be sued as well from the Trayvon Martin family. We're going to have to wait and see on these things. But just to summarize, this was a media show trial right from the start. It was similar in some respects to old show trials that they had in the old Soviet Union, except that at least he had a chance. Where in the old Soviet Union, when you were put on trial, you didn't. You were automatically guilty. I don't know, maybe Zimmerman could go join Snowden or something. I just fear for his life. And we'll have all these people sitting there applauding if somebody whacks him. I went on Twitter. I'm beginning to like that service. I never really knew what it was all about that much. I never used it. But I went on Twitter and I scolded a number of people. I told a few of them they belong in prison. Well, I said they should be arrested because they were threatening him. And I don't take any of it back, because there are a bunch of people who tweeted threats and they should go to jail. There was a New York Giants football player who threatened him. And that, what are we seeing from the NFL? Are they going to fire him and ban him from the league? Probably not. I don't remember his name. It's a funny name. But that player, I say this to you, Mr. Football Player for New York Giants, you should be immediately banned from the league. You should lose your job and you should go to jail. You broke the law and you deserve to be punished. It's as simple as that. He did take the tweet down, apparently. And that's all I got to say. That's my rant. This was a show trial right from the start. And probably quite illegal. So, the prosecutors were completely useless. They had no case. They knew it, but they bowed to pressure from Washington District of Criminals. I'm going to remind you folks out there one more time that you and I do not get a vote. This is not open to a national vote whether somebody's innocent or guilty. It's a handful of people sitting in a courtroom. They're the ones that get the vote. We don't. I mean, if OJ, for instance, if we were allowed to vote, OJ probably would have been found guilty if this was open to national plebiscite, but it's not. It's the way it is. Either way, justice has been served. Sometimes innocent people go to jail. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Sometimes guilty people go free. And I'm not saying that he was guilty. I'm just saying that's what happens. So you're going to have to eat it. It's as simple as that. You want to protest, do so peacefully. Express your opinions. That's American. I'm okay with it. Don't go looting or burning or anything like that. I'm Artifacts of Mars. I approve this message.